Racial injustice is a systemic risk. Everyone has been beneficiary to the fact that there was subjugation, exploitation, and oppression. The country was founded on quote unquote free labor from people who were captive and brought across from their homelands. That free, zero cost to labor and free quote unquote land that was stolen from indigenous people is how the United States created all of the wealth that United States created. It's the ultimate engine of zero cost to your land and zero cost to your labor. And then all profits get privatized to specific people who are only people allowed to have ownership. We have all have the fallout collectively. So as we think about what do we need to do now, because our institutions were built on this very premise that extraction, exploitation were where we began, everyone. So the responsibility to do something about that is also everyone's, but we can begin with policies, programs, and practices that we have today and make them more equitable. Getting to justice does involve thinking historically and saying, where have we specifically failed specific groups and what is the targeted universal solution that we need now, to kind of reference John A. Powell. But specific groups have been harmed in specific places more. And what do we need to do for those people in specific? What do we need to rethink about the way this was built? Because this system was choices that people made. So what do we need to do to rethink those choices and build something else? But also, where do we need to have redress? Because unless we actually take accountability for where we are and those who have received more from the fact that these structures benefited and privatized wealth in small groups of hands with very specific people, what do they have to do in order to redress? And the redress can come in many ways. So I don't think there's a one size fits all for what does reparation looks like. Perhaps from the government, it should look a certain way, but from private institutions and from people, it can look different. So I'll just offer that up, that I think the rethink is important, but the redress is necessary for real healing, because until there's accountability, is there a real apology? Unless you're doing something else, if you say sorry and do the same thing over and over again, are you sorry? So I think the question that folks should ask themselves as at a personal as well as institutional level, where did we benefit in a disproportionate way? And where did we cause harm with our anti-Blackness, anti-indigeneity, whatever else other anti to whatever groups that your policies, programs, and practices may have harmed that you need to atone for? I mean, the atonement word is not a word used often in investing, but for the faith-based community, that should be something familiar. And so if we hold ourselves to a different standard, perhaps a potentially higher standard, then what are the activities that we need to pursue in order to rethink the way we do business currently, redress where we have been party to harm and where we have received excess value from the fact that these systems were exploited, and where should we invest now to fix what we broke?